YouTube? Sir Dragon X here. Today is a continuation of our where to travel and where to live in Mexico. Today we're going to feature a recent trip that we took to Isla Mujeres in the video coming up next. Welcome back to Retired Life in Mexico, No Bull. Not only where we present you with the facts, but we present you with a true reality. Today, we're going to share with you a recent trip that we took to Isla Mujeres. Its history dates back 1,500 years. This island holds a special place in my heart. Isla Mujeres just happens to be the place where my in-laws spent their honeymoon in 1968. Believe it or not, Cancun did not exist back then, and Isla Mujeres was the new and in Mexican tourist destination back in the 1960s. It wasn't until the 1970s that Cancun was developed and Isla Mujeres expanded its tourism along with Cancun. I spent countless hours sitting with my in-laws and listening to them tell us stories about their courtship, marriage, and eventual honeymoon adventures in Isla Mujeres. I am sure it has changed drastically since then, but it was just standing there on the island that was an honor to my in-laws as I walked the streets. I imagine my in-laws running around the island as young newlyweds. It was like going back in time for me. Before we start exploring, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel and hit the little bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. I also encourage you to like this video if you enjoyed the content. It helps me get the word out on YouTube. Also, don't forget to visit us on Facebook and Instagram at the links listed in the video description and on this channel. As I mentioned, Isla Mujeres' history dates back over 1,500 years when it was part of the Mayan province of Icab. The island served as a sanctuary for the goddess Ixchel, who was the Mayan goddess of the moon, fertility, medicine, and happiness. In the 1950s, long before Cancun was even in the crosshairs of developers, Isla Mujeres opened their arms to visitors. At the time, there was no ferry service, so tourists would signal by flashing their car lights from a makeshift dock near where Puerto Juarez stands today. The sons of local fishermen would take small boats over to the mainland and pick up the visitors and take them to the island. As tourism picked up in the early 1960s, ferry service was finally available to take tourists to the island. The island also became famous when Jacques Cousteau traveled to Isla Mujeres in 1969 on his famous boat, the Calypso, to investigate an underwater cave discovered by a local fisherman while diving for lobsters. Inside the cave, he discovered sharks that appeared to be sleeping, and at the time it was believed that sharks never slept. Eventually, Isla Mujeres became famous with the arrival of many famous marine biologists and divers from around the world. But actually it was never determined if the sharks actually slept or not. Isla Mujeres continued to flourish with tourism along with the inception of Cancun in the 1970s and continues to be a popular tourist destination to this day. We had a chance to talk to one of the locals and he indicated that the island has a total of approximately 17,000 inhabitants. He also indicated that the island has approximately 1,500 to 2,000 foreigners who live full-time on the island, and a majority are from the United States. So enough with the talking. Let's get to exploring our adventure to the historical island of Isla Mujeres. Now, come with me.